You know how it is. We've all seen that one couple's private arguments suddenly blow up in public and become everybody's business. Well, today, we're going to take all that viral drama and flip it into some real-life wisdom for your own relationships. We're breaking down how to fight fair so you can focus on winning the peace, not just the argument.
Wow, just picture it. You're out, trying to have a nice meal, your food just hit the table, and then you hear, that gets screamed across the whole restaurant. That one line kicked off what we're calling the dinner date disaster. And yeah, it's a whole spectacle for sure, but it's also a perfect masterclass in what not to do. Because let's be real, sometimes seeing someone else's relationship implode can be a powerful lesson for all of us. So we're going to deconstruct these messy moments to find some real, actionable advice to keep your own disagreements from turning into a public performance. All right, let's get into it.
So here's the game plan for today. We'll kick things off with the meltdown itself. Then we'll compare the destructive moves to the mature ones. After that, I'm giving you a full-on de-escalation playbook, plus 3 habits to help you stop fights before they even start. And we'll wrap it all up by asking that big question, what's your move going to be?
All right, let's dive into our main case study, the dinner date disaster. Man, it all started on what was supposed to be just a regular night out, but it ended in a way that nobody, and I mean nobody, especially not that poor waitress, could have ever seen coming.
See, a reaction that intense doesn't just pop up out of nowhere. This whole thing kicked off with a rumor that traveled just like that old game of telephone you played as a kid. A neighbor saw something, told a coworker, who then told her sister, who then makes the final fateful call to Nikki. You could just imagine how with every single step that story got a little more twisted, a little more emotional, until it finally landed on Nikki like an absolute bombshell, fueling all that rage before she even set foot in the restaurant.
And this, right here, this is where we get to the real heart of the story. You've got 2 people, Nikki and her man, Mac, facing the exact same crisis. But one of them chose to pour gasoline all over the fire, while the other one was busy looking for the fire extinguisher.
What's so wild here is the clash of their goals. I mean, just look at Nikki's column. Every single move is about getting that immediate, public victory. She's trying to win the battle right then and there, in front of God and everybody. But Mac is playing the long game. Every one of his moves, staying calm, getting the food to go, it's all about damage control. He's willing to lose that battle in the moment to save the relationship in the long run. That's a huge difference between short-term satisfaction and long-term preservation.
Now, Nikki's public outburst is one kind of destructive move, but there's another classic one called triangulation. This is that move where you pull a third person into a fight that's just between you and somebody else, usually to use them as your backup, your muscle. It's messy.
And this right here is a perfect example from another story we heard. This dude, Derek, decided to bring his new girlfriend Kelly as his champion to go confront his ex. He triangulated. And how'd that work out for him? Well, both he and his so-called champion ended up getting beat down. Bringing in your own army is a guaranteed way to escalate things and completely lose control of the situation.
Now, let's contrast all that chaos with Mac's parting words in the restaurant. This is a beautiful illustration of a mature de-escalating strategy. He wasn't running away from the conversation. Nah, he was just moving the venue. He made it crystal clear that a real talk was going to happen, but it was going to happen in a way that could actually lead to a solution, not just more drama for everybody to watch. Okay, so we've analyzed the problem. Now let's get into the solution. How do you actually pull things back when they get super heated? We're about to build your own personal playbook for hitting that all-important pause button.
Listen, the crucial point here is that you have way more control than you think, even when you're seeing red. It starts with step 1, just hit the brakes. Before you say a single word, just breathe. Then step 2, change the venue. A public fight is a performance for an audience. You got to take it private to make it a real conversation. Step 3 is all about validation. Acknowledge their feeling. You don't have to agree with it, but a simple "I hear you" can be a powerful diffuser. Step 4 is a total game changer. Use I statements. "I feel hurt" invites a discussion. "You are selfish" starts a war. And finally, step 5, schedule the real talk. Promise to come back to it when you're both calm. This isn't about avoiding the fight, it's about setting it up for success.
Now, that playbook is for when you're already in the fire. But what if you could stop the fire from ever starting in the first place? Let's talk about 3 long-term habits that can build a stronger foundation for handling any disagreement that comes your way.
That's it. Just 3. Not a whole laundry list of things to remember. Just 3 simple but powerful habits that can fundamentally change how you and your partner navigate conflict.
So here they are.
Number 1, attack the problem, not the person. Number 2, and this ties right back to what we saw earlier, keep it between you two. No triangulation, no calling in backup to win your fight. And number 3, master what we're calling the show-up test.
To really get habit number 1, check out this story about a blended family. The disagreement started as a simple logistics problem. How are we going to handle your daughter visiting for Christmas? But it quickly spiraled into a personal attack. You are selfish. See, the second you stop trying to solve the problem and start attacking the other person's character, you've already lost the plot.
And that brings us to our final habit, the show-up test. This story says it all, really. A single mom needed medicine for her sick kid, so she texted 3 different guys. 2 of them hit her back by deflecting, judging, and basically making it someone else's problem. But the third guy, Tim, he just showed up. And not just with the medicine, but with everything else you see here. He didn't see a situation to judge. He saw a partner who needed his help. In a conflict, a real partner shows up to solve the problem with you, not to stand on the side and point fingers. That's the test.
So, let's bring it all home. After looking at the meltdowns, breaking down the strategies, and laying out the solutions, it all really boils down to a single choice that you have to make when things get hot.
It's really that simple. Are you going to be a flame fan or a firefighter? In any disagreement, you can choose to escalate it, to pour gasoline all over it like Nikki did, just to get that temporary win. Or you can choose to de-escalate, to find that fire extinguisher like Mac and play the long game.
And that's the question I really want to leave you with. Because we all get there. We all feel that heat rising, that anger bubbling up inside. But in that critical moment, you have a choice. Is your goal to prove you're right no matter what it costs? Or is it to protect the peace and preserve the relationship you've worked to build? Something to think about.